keep an eye on
Nice.
it anymore.
Hi, it's 1975, and before we get into the video proper, I just want to apologise to anyone who got wanted because I'm an idiot. Recently, me, Scooby and Orc were in a fight where there was like so many IED and their allies, and while I was being shot to shit by about 4 people, I realised Ragnar Scott, who I was aiming at, was wanted, and I put 2 and 2 together and realised I hadn't switched crimes off. My bad, my mistake. I should always remember to do that before going from like doing what I normally do to doing combat. I run crimes when I'm in my type 7 because I need the police's help when I'm dealing with NPC anacondas, and the amount of times I forget to turn it off is getting terrible. But I apologise, my error. I did apologise to Ragnar Scott at the time, as you can see in this message, and now let's get on with the video proper. Now we're going to be picking up with something that happened at the end of the night when we were fighting with IED, and something that irked me a little bit.
Yeah, what was that? That's that Pat Bow guy. He has fucking healing beams on. What a fucking douche. I want to try and kill him just for that.
Now, after a long evening's entertainment of fun PvP with IED and the eternal battle between good and evil, that is DMPS, the bad guys, versus IED, the good guys, we had one last go round with only 3 DMPS still on, one of them being very drunk, and we decided to drop in for one last fight. We finally managed to instance with Garrix. We'd been winging it around looking for him for a while. They'd been looking for us, I think it was just an instancing thing, and eventually we drop in for one last scrap, and it's 6 IED versus 3 DMPS, and during the fight suddenly they start using bro beams. It's like, you already outnumber us, you know, severely. Did you really have to pull out the bro beams? It's something that slightly irks me. There is certain stuff that in PvP we don't use as the bad guys. Even though we are the bad guys, we do have kind of a strict code of conduct when it comes to PvP. We have recently had people leave the faction because they've refused to abide by our quite strict code of conduct and behaviours. I mean, we abide by the same conventions as most PvPers. We don't use premium, we don't use healing beams, you know, we don't combat log, we don't run crimes unless it's a mistake, but as a rule we don't run crimes. You know, we have a code of conduct that we follow, and we have had commanders come and go because they've been unable to stick to that code of conduct. While we are bad guys, we do like to at least fly with some, you know, semblance of decency and honour. Now, IED being the good guys, maybe it's just me, but I kind of hold them to at least the same standard as us, the bad guys. So I get very disappointed and disillusioned when IED, who are probably my favourite good guy faction in the game, stoop to sort of low or base tactics. I do get sort of disappointed when IED do stuff that we wouldn't do, and you know, it's sometimes they use very cheap tactics, and I find that disappointing. I should really stop ramming things in my Mamba, even though ramming Garrix is kind of a must. And had he not had healing beams, he might have found himself a bit of trouble there. he got rammed by Ghost with a plasma ram and then rammed by me with a frag ram. I think he was on like barely one ring of shields, but unfortunately for us we couldn't take advantage because healing beams. But you know, I hold IED probably to a much higher standard than I should do, maybe, but it does disappoint me when IED do stuff that we would consider, you know, a bit shady and we wouldn't like to do. Also, Garex got quite annoyed with me for commenting on the bro beams. I'll show you the messages.
Wow.
Really?
He sent you.
Who said that?
Now, don't worry if you can't read the comments. I have made it bigger and put a static screenshot as the last shot of this video, so you can fully read Garex's comment in all of its glory. Now, recently, IED's behaviour for me has been quite bad. They've done stuff that we wouldn't do. They've done stuff that, you know, we'd be like, oh, we can't do that. That's just so bad. You know, tracking down and murdering noobs in mining ships and then lying in wait for them at the fleet carrier to hunt them, you know, kill them a second time. It's a little bit on the low side, something that we wouldn't really consider doing. Yeah, we have killed some of their noobs, but we killed their noobs in Lupao, which is our home system. If you're going to send your noobs into our home system, then, you know, you're asking for it. There's examples here of bad behavior from IED playing in the background, but it's mainly Garex's comment I want to focus on. If this is the new policy, if this is like it or lump it and correct statement from IED, then if this is the way forward, then, you know, I will be interested to hear from members of IED and see what they think of the statement and what they think the way forward is. Because if it is a case that it's like it or lump it, they're going to use every, you know, dodgy thing possible, fighter exploit, bro beams, primo crimes, etc. You know, I might have to reassess how often I get involved in PvP with IED for certain. I mean, it is disappointing when IED, the good guys, are behaving worse than we, the bad guys. It's kind of funny. Now, I will honestly say IED is probably my favourite good guy faction out there. Had I not become a pirate, they would have been one of the factions I would have considered joining. You know, I kind of like what they do in game, for the most part. I like the intention. I'm not always a fan of the execution, you know. But that is my opinion, and I would love to know yours in the comments down below. Read the following statement from Lord Garex and let me know whether you think this is how IED should be playing the game, and if you are IED, do you think this is the way you should be going about being the good guys? Yeah, and Garex wonders why I target him first in every fight. But anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and again, if you're from IED, please, I'd love to hear from you. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.